Hi, it's Ted Stevenson, and I teach at George Brown College in the B130 and B133 primarily. So just a quick overview for some people that don't understand. That's School of Finance, Accounting and Finance. We're a FP Canada approved education provider, Financial Planning Canada, which I'm going to show you the website in a minute. And the students in this program, the core curriculum allows them to write what's called the QAFP exam, okay, if they're in the B130, 133. If they're in the B407, then they're, after the program, they can write the CFP exam, okay? So it's important because I'm going to skip over to the FP Canada website here, and we have what's called the financial body of knowledge. And so there's 12 topic areas here, and these topic areas are mapped to all of our courses in the B130, 133, and 407. That's not explicit in the course outlines, but that's implicit in the program. So it's pretty easy to show you how, if you don't have a background, and that my example, my use case is finance, but regardless of the area, the steps can be the same, okay, in terms of self-learning using AI. So what I'm going to do is each of these 12 topic areas, you can download the PDF, and that's important because I can upload that into certain AIs. And so there's the, so here we're starting, we open up the PDF, and we'll start at the top. So we can see I'm going to use investments, topic area 8. So here's the overview, CFP and QFP professionals, what they're expected to know. And then it shows you the knowledge for the QAFP and CFP, and this is only for the CFP, a few higher level, investment structures, some extra areas of information. So then there we have our knowledge levels and our glossary of verbs. So our learning outcome statements, the verbs, and then we get into it. So one of the things that I do with first semester students right off the bat is I'll just pick something very quickly. And of course, it's their first week, first semester. They don't know. This is why we've come to college, to start to learn this. And so we can see that from the FP Canada, if we don't have a textbook, all we have right now is just learning outcome statements, learning outcome statements, learning outcome statements. And we can see that for investments alone, this is 52 pages, okay? And so the 12 topic areas, some of them are 23, 38, 40. There's a lot. The body of knowledge, by the time you get to the CFP level, is quite huge, okay? So, okay, so I've opened up the PDF now. I've downloaded it, opened it up. And so what I've chosen here, something that relates to math, because regardless of your background, what you teach, you might have a background in math. So I want to show you, so we have here the learning outcomes. Define types of investment returns, such as a nominal return, a real return, effective annual return, expected return, realized after tax, real after tax, risk-free, holding period, geometric, arithmetic, dollar weighted and time weighted. So a lot there. So again, first of all, if you asked a young student, regardless, any student in their first week, what's the difference between nominal and real returns after tax? They may not know. Well, here we just have the learning outcome statements, okay? So step one, how I think, in my opinion, AI can help us learn, is the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go into Notebook LM, okay? You have to have a Google account. And so what I can do here is I can add my file. So I can drop and drag it, so I'll just go in here to my downloads, and I'll put in the book of investments. Okay, I'm going to get that started. So Notebook LM is pretty good at making you some study notes and some reports and working with it as well. I find it a little bit weaker than ChatGPT in some ways of getting exactly what I want out of it in terms of more customized stuff. But in the meantime, we're just going to start the mind map, okay? And then we'll move on. So on the ChatGPT now, a couple of things that I do is that, again, I can upload the file. So I'm going to add the file. I'm going to upload the investments, okay? And then how AI can help us learn is I can type in, you know, define, I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to go into my chat GPT, and I'm going to just paste it as plain text, and shift enter. Please make me a summary of the following. Not a summary, a teaching note. A college level teaching note for the following section. Please provide math examples, not only algebra, but also using the text, sorry about that. We use a calculator, Texas Instruments BA2, okay. Calculator keystrokes. Okay. For the following. And we just hit enter. So I'm doing this real time just to show you. So one of the things while we're waiting for that to percolate, you know, I'm using, I can show you the assignment later, to have the students use AI to help write them a blog, but then they've got to curate in all kinds of different information, tables, charts, and I'll show you an example of that later on at the real students' work. But I said you can also use the AI to personalize your work. So anytime you see someone, you know, photo credit, what about this, what about that? I've been also using AI to help create my infographics. And then people know that it's kind of, you know, you can do photo credit in the student's name, showing that they're using the AI in another way. And so I said for my blog, landscape picture, young financial advisor in a small bank office, chatting with a prospective client, show the financial advisor actively listening, because that's from the FP Canada body of knowledge from FP Book 12, Human Behavior, for supportive, working with supportive personalities, relationships come before results. Create a comfortable, friendly environment, begin meetings with authentic conversation, family, hobbies, shared interests. Well, right now the Blue Jays are obviously in a hot battle. So I chose that, said, you know, oh, you're also a baseball fan. So it says here, show the financial advisor actively listening, the client saying, you're also a baseball. And so ChatGPT had me make the illustration, okay? So getting down to here, now I'm back on having uploaded. Look at this in terms of math, you know, for a course that doesn't have a calculator, you can see here that the nominal return is ending value minus beginning plus income divided by beginning value. That's how I start semester 1, week 1. My students will tell you, ending minus beginning divided by beginning. We learn price return, and then we learn total return, okay? Total return is we add the income. So it gives you a little example of a calculation, and then I would go and I would check to see if these calculator, the keystrokes are the way I like them, if not. So you can see here, it has a, you know, all the math is there, all the algebra there, calculator, keystrokes. There's a lot that you need to know, and even a little summary table, okay? And then what some of the students, even last week, I was doing a little workshop, they didn't know, oh, you can output now? Yeah, output it as a word with the formulas. Yes, please. Yes, please. And please have the algebra. One of the things that comes, sometimes it doesn't come, the algebra doesn't come out very nice. Well, I did formulae. So. Do that. Okay, so I see this video is at 10 minutes. So I'm only 10 minutes work. That's not too bad. So while we're waiting for that output, I'll go back and I'll check my mind map. Okay, so Notebook LM has given me a mind map, and what I want to, there's a few things here. I like mind maps because for CSC or CFA, where there's exams where you got a large amount of memorization, I find mind maps are very good. So here we can look in terms of investments. Oh, what are the asset classes? Oh, what is equities? Those are stocks. Okay, well, so here's this is the areas that I need to know with regards to the financial planning body of knowledge, investments. What do I need to know? So it's at least a quick starting point, but I can tell you, you can't edit these mind maps, and sometimes they're not right. I was doing one for CFA foundations, for accounting, so I'm always tinkering, and it comes up, financial statements, there's no income statement. The income statement, what about the income statement? It's not on the mind map. So the mind map is not accurate. And they'll tell you that too. But in general, if it is accurate, then I can, say I'm doing a blog or some type of presentation, then I can take a snippet and I can put that in, and I can zero in on anywhere. So that's one of the things I like about, and you can download it. That's one of the things that I do like about Notebook LM. So again, just showing you, if we go into investments, return and risk measurement, and types of investment returns. And so there you go, nominal, effective, expected, risk-free. And again, we can see whether anything may or may not be missing, okay? So I just put the video on pause to split my screen. You can see here on the left-hand side, the mind map, nominal, real, effective, expected, realized, after tax, real after tax, risk-free, holding period, geometric, arithmetic, dollar-weighted, time-weighted. So yeah, in this case, it did match up. So again, pretty good, pretty good mind map. You can zoom it in, zoom it out. And so that's one of the things that I like about Notebook LM. Some of the students have told me that they have enjoyed some videos that have been created. I haven't tinkered with everything. Just take my webcam off for a minute. Top right-hand corner, there's lots of things that you can do, but also you can say, please make me a set of study notes, college level, for the attached. I do not have a textbook. Now, one of the things is this would be huge because that's 52 pages. So it's going to just give me a set of summary. With Notebook LM, it's better to bite-size things. It doesn't like big projects. Anyhow, we can start that. But getting back to our ChatGPT now, we can see here's the teaching notes that it's printed out in the Word format. So we'll see how that looks. Not bad. We can blow that up a little bit. You can see the algebra is not exactly calculator keystrokes there. No, not great. Okay. I can tell you that right off the bat. So again, this section I really liked. I thought it was quite clear, but when you ask to print it out, it doesn't work. And also, if you then try to go and copy and paste it into Word, file, new document, I have struggled to get the, to get it to come out the way that I want in terms of the algebra matching the formulas. So one of the things you could do then, very manually, you could again kind of snip it bit by bit or page by page and type and paste it into something. And then you've got your set of notes the way that you like it. But again, you learn by doing. Speed is a skill. Skill gets rewarded, okay? So I think that kind of clearly shows you very quickly in 15-minute video that you can, regardless of your background, you can open up a FP-Can. And some, by the way, I showed the math. I started with the math. But mostly the CFA, the CFP, the exams is very little math. Math is on the minority. It's English test subject finance. So a lot of it's definitional or some other type of concepts. So regardless of your background, for example, I always like to use economics as well. There's some stuff here about the Bank of Canada. Again, it's the same exercise. You can upload the PDF, pick out areas to help you learn, and then the next stage is I said, okay, how can I have ChatGPT work? And that's where I get into my. I know I'll save that for the discussion. Is that I then have the students create a blog, and ChatGPT can help me write it because English isn't the first language of many of our students. And AI is used in the course, and we disclose it. But AI helps us write the blog based on those FP Canada learning outcome statements, but then we curate in information, okay? And that's how I think AI can then help us go from learning to working, because in the workplace, I have to create some social media, I have to create a little mini blog 3 times a week, I have to create this, I have to create that. I'm using AI and we disclose it, we're using AI to help make me more efficient, but I'm still the expert. Okay, actually I just paused it and I did open up the document. So I sent this, for the AI discussions, because, we want to share your experiences. So this is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to show you what I've been doing in my class, how I'm showing the students AI can help us learn, and then maybe AI can help us work as well. There's a few other things that I do as well. So, but I want to start with the fact that, I follow the principles of UDL, did the UDL course a few years ago. So I'm trying to get students also to manage themselves, find and curate information. That's you got the body of knowledge. I found that. It's only learning outcome statements, but so how do I manage myself? How do I manage my own learning? And then how do I manage my deadlines, organize resources, and communicate critical thinking? And I also believe in these authentic assessments, which is from George Brown kickoff meeting a few years ago as well. Tasks that a student could perform on the job. So I think writing a blog is something, creating content. And then the 5 principles for creating individual assessment tools is number 1, yes, I give so my example I want to show you, I give the students the rubric. So I give them the students the rubric. In fact, I share samples of past students' good work. These are 2 things that I do. So we have a template, we have workshops, we have videos, we have samples, we have class time allocated. So I think it's pretty clear about our expectations, A, B, C, D. So looking at a course here where the discussion board, I'm making that a blog. So here we can see we need to tie, to the official course outline, to the weekly course outline. So you can see the assessment is discussion board blog. Write a 750-word blog with complementary charts, tables, articles, links, and resources. Include the course CLOs and body of FP Canada body of knowledge. So that's from my assessment. There's the rubric, the students mark it. There's the link to the body of knowledge. There's some good guidelines for blog submission from CFA Institute. And that's why, as I mentioned, I think it's a real-world assessment, because I wrote a blog for the CFA Institute, and the template that we use has been modified from that. So in terms of the fonts and putting in some charts, it's pretty neat. You click on that. And the COIFIN, so knowledge, skills, and abilities, because I've woven in some charting. You click on the link and the chart comes up, okay? So that's where the template comes from. That's where I believe it's a real-world assessment, okay? So then, and then match your expectations. measure students' work against the criteria. That's right. There's the benchmark. I'm not evaluating you as a person. I'm evaluating the work. There's this. There's the sample. There's the template. There's an example of A plus. What did you hand in? There's the criteria. Okay. Number 3, authentic assessments, tasks and scenarios encounter in the real world. Well, we've gone over that. And then involve students, self-assessment. So it improves the quality and makes the task of marking by the teacher. So those are the principles that I believe in. And then here, reflect and revise. Is it pretty good? So then I put in here some of, you may not know that Nicholas Marcoux, CEO of PwC Canada, gave a Dean's Fireside Chat, and he said, fear people who know and use generative AI better than you do. So, I think the students, there is value that they can say to an employer, to industry, oh yes, the AI is so huge, there's so many use cases, but this is this is how I used it, one of the things that I learned while I was at GBC, okay? And so then I like to say I like to lead by example. This semester I've already done 2 blogs. So one of the things that we do is, okay, create content, and then potentially you can post it to LinkedIn if you're happy with it, save it as a PDF. And that's what I do with the students. I can just show you that very, very quickly. I take the lead, and then week 3 semester, the content factory is up and running, and then I've saved my blog, my template, as a PDF. Okay, so then getting back to here, and I've attached that in the document. So then we can see here some of the students. I have an example. This is group work. They did a case, but I'll skip down to the individual work. So here's an excellent student sample, Jasleen Kaur from last semester. And she did a blog using AI to help write it, but I'll show you, I'm going to open up the document and show you the template and show you the link. So you can see, when I open up, I tell the students, it should look like mine, because you're working for an organization, CFA Institute, this bank. You have to have the structure, the template, that's part of it, just updating it's very mechanical. But then it's your content, putting in your content, making sure that you own it, that you're the expert, that it's right, and then mixing in other stuff to show that you really do get it, okay? So I have that students, they send it to me by email as, to be marked, and then here it is. And so she created her own, you see, fantastic. I have my own, as people sometimes know, I have my own, that's the digital swag, and then I made my own Prof TED. And so the student has made, so right off the bat, I get a very nice feeling. Also, I like to use my own pictures, and so the students use their own pictures. Scarborough Bluffs, everyone knows that I like Center Island and Toronto. So just something like that, or it can be an infographic. Then we have the link to the students. If we right click, that should be a link to their LinkedIn. And their topic was unsecured credit. It's coming from FP Canada. Topic 3, credit and debt. They're showing you exactly where the learning outcome statements are from. So I'll skip down to the back just to show you a little bit. They gave themselves 99, self-marked, and there's the co-pilot prompt. So it's all transparent. Use of AI is permitted in the course. Nice little background about the author. And so then this is getting back to some information that the student would have updated as well, okay? So very nice, but I want to show you more importantly, so how did they curate in other information to show that it's not just all AI? Well, they have a nice chart here. They have another chart, not using the COIFIN, which I prefer. Oh, there's a COIFIN chart. So like a mixing of charts even, fantastic. And that can't be outsourced, having students create their own COIFIN charts. We do that in class a lot. And so fantastic, then stuff from dealing with debt, 5 tips for dealing with debt from CIBC. Oh yeah, I didn't know that was there. And all the links are live, you can open it up. And so they can show you if I want to go and learn more, hey, I didn't know that. Maybe you didn't know that CIBC has got a website here, dealing with debt. Here's how to face it head on. So that's an example of a little bank blogging, and that's an example of real world content, okay? Stick to your plan. Increase your income. Well, that would be nice for all of us. Cut the non-essentials. Sure. Buy my clothes secondhand. Debt repayment build a budget. Yeah, that's what we learned. Okay. So then we can see here, I'm just in my LinkedIn, and I've just clicked on it. I can make that a little bit bigger so you can see it. So there's Jasleen. You know, we're connected on the LinkedIn. So 2 months ago, you know, it's Advanced Financial Planning. She did a blog. It's been uploaded here as a PDF, and so that's a sample and portfolio of work. Okay, fantastic. And if you go in, this is one of the things that I want to point out, and you download it. Scanning for viruses. Download it. Even in PDF, what I want to just show you is that, just very quickly. Whoops. Go to my downloads. There we go. Just 1 second. The links, when you download it to PDF, the point is I'm trying to make is that the links should all stay there. Yeah, so there we go. Just want to show. It's not my document. So there we go. So you can. So the student is posted on the LinkedIn. The student is posted on the LinkedIn. You can download the document, and all the links are there. You know, so a potential employer these days, people are going to check you on LinkedIn, see what your profile looks like, see if you've posted anything, and they can look. You know, the student has posted this article. And I think that's a sample of A+ work, quite frankly. Well, that gone on to be 27 minutes, so I'm done. I want to thank you for your time. Hopefully you've learned something, a little bit about how I'm trying to use. You know, there's other things I could talk about, but I don't want to go on too long. But I think that shows you very quickly FB Canada Body of Knowledge, learning outcome statements, load it up to Notebook LM, get a mind map, load it up to ChatGPT, get some set of notes. Oh, I also do multiple choice questions. Load it up to ChatGPT, help me write a blog. Puts the content of the written part that we're disclosing that ChatGPT is helping me with, but we curate in other information to show that we're still the expert. And, you know, not a bad example, I believe, in terms of a use case of how to use AI effectively to help us learn and help us work, okay? So on that note, now it's time to, I'll turn that on. Yeah, let's go to the beach. It's all rainbows, and, you know, have a great day. All right.